Welcome back to the Orange and Black. My name is Sean Holloway, and this show we talk about Giants baseball using analytics, common sense, the eye test, and much, much more. And today, I am worried. I am very worried. Now, the Giants have been playing good baseball as of late, but overall, if you really dive deep into the numbers, it's still not good. The Giants did finish a 4-2 homestand against the Dodgers and Marlins, but in that Dodgers series, they scored only 6 runs across 3 games, but really only in 2 games. That's not good. And those 6 runs were scored in 2 separate innings. So one inning was 3 runs, the other one was 3 runs, but that was it. So of the 25 innings, because they didn't bat in the 9th in 2 of them, so 25 innings, 23 of them were scoreless. That's not good. Jung-Hoo Lee's been batting .500 this past week, which has been great. The bullpen is the best in the league since April 7th. That is great. Casey Schmidt has been their best player. No offense to him, but that's not great. There are better players on this team that aren't performing, but it's great for him that he's breaking out. But we need other guys to step up and do their part, especially by how much they're being paid. Adrian Houser has been awful. Tyler Mahle has been mostly bad except for his last outing. We'll see what he does tonight against the Phillies, the struggling Phillies. I might add, they just fired their head coach or their manager, so now they have a new interim one, Don Mattingly. We'll see what they do. Could spell trouble. Could fire up the clubhouse. Who knows? Logan Webb has been mostly bad this year. He's really looked bad since he came back from the WBC. I'm not saying that the WBC caused him to be this bad, but since then, he has not been good. And the biggest story for this team is Rafi Devers has been horrendous. If you look back at the trade, Kyle Harrison has been phenomenal in Milwaukee. James Tibbs got off to a hot start in the AAA for the Dodgers. He's cooled off quite a bit since then, but still, we can see what he can do. Adames has had one good week this year where he went off and hit 6 doubles. Since then, he's 8 for 56 for a 142 batting average, and he's hitless in his last 4 games. At any given time, it feels like only 1 or 2 players actually show up for a game, sometimes 3, but it just feels like the offense is rolling off of 1 or 2 guys, and that's not good at all. Now let's dive deep into some of these numbers offensively. We're going to go through each: offense, defense, pitching, base running, all that stuff. So let's just jump right in for the offensive numbers, and we can kind of see how abysmal they have been. Here are some quick stats of where they rank last in. They are last in home runs, last in walks, walk rate, stolen bases. They are 29th in runs, 28th in OPS, and they are one of 2 teams yet to score 100 runs. And they're currently sitting at 3.46 runs per game. That is not good. You're not going to win many games with that level of scoring. That's just what it is. You're leaving your pitching staff no room for error. Granted, the bullpen has been well above what was anticipated. The starting pitching has been less than what they were anticipated to be, but you're not giving them enough room to win. Stolen bases, again, no surprise. They're in last place. They don't run the bases well. Base running, you have Schmidt overrunning second base in back-to-back games, and the second one really irked me because the play is right in front of him, and he decided to round the base for some weird reason, and slipped, fell, got tagged out. Now, he did make up for it with a 3-run home run, but why are you rounding the base to begin with? That doesn't make sense to me. And then, of course, you have Hector Borg sending Lee for the final out of an inning, and we have the whole thing with Dalton rushing and all that stuff like that. But still, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close at home. So, again, bad base running, causing outs, and they can't afford to make these errors because they're not scoring enough. Now, the big thing for me is I'm worried for Devers. I'm worried about Devers. I'm really worried about Devers. He's currently sitting at a 216 batting average and a 563 OPS. And here's where I'm worried. His bat speed is down. His K rate is up. He can't hit fastballs over the middle. And even though he made a ton of good plays at first against the Dodgers and Marlins, his defense hasn't been good. He's in ninth percentile in fielding run value at -2, 7th in OAA, or outs above average, at -7, and he has a -3 DRS, defensive runs saved. Now, I don't expect him to be a Gold Glove caliber player, but at least be league average. Like, that should be the minimum, right? That should be the minimum, be league average. Can't even do that, right? And first base defense has been, a merry-go-round for this season. Like, everybody who is get tossed there, him, Schmidt, Encarnacion, like, they just can't seem to field the ball all that well. Don't know what it is, but it's an issue. Now, I've seen people say that, he's just a slow starter. My response to that is, no, he's not. If you really look at his numbers, he is not. Looking at his career stats from March and April, this is his worst start to a season in his entire career by a mile. By a country mile. It is not even close. Prior to the season, his worst start was his rookie season back in 2018, where he had a 739 OPS. Even last year, with all the turmoil, with the whole Bregman situation and all the rumors and all the bad blood and all that other stuff, he still put up a 787 OPS, even with all that stuff. So every other year besides his rookie season and this year, he's had a WRC plus above 100. Above 100. Right? He's posting career worse in almost every stat. And there's like little to no signs of him improving, like, at all. Right? Right now, he's an automatic out at the plate. He's an automatic out. And he needs to turn this around fast, because with the remaining money on his contract and the way Kyle Harrison and, Tibbs have been doing and their new systems, this trade's looking horrible. And he's supposed to be the guy in this lineup, and he's nowhere close to it. Nowhere close to it. So I'm worried about him. We'll see what happens. Hopefully in May he gets on a heater and carries this team. But as of right now, I'm worried about him. Now let's jump into the pitching, because the pitching, outside of a few choice guys, it's been great. It has been great. Logan Webb has not been his normal self this season at all. I'm not really worried about him, because we know what he can do. Especially the last 2 years, he's been a workhorse. He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. It's only a matter of time until he figures it out, right? So I'm not worried about him in the slightest. Robbie Ray and Landon Roop have carried this rotation, right? Which is great to see. It's great to see. I love it. Both have an ERA under 3. And there's a large gap between them and Logan Webb, and then there's even a bigger gap between him and the rest, right? Tyler Mahle and Adrian Houser, right? So the pitching staff is in a weird state, because, like I said, you have Ray and Root being fantastic, Webb's not being great, but then you have the 2 offseason acquisitions, Mahle and Houser, and they've been horrible for the most part, right? Mahle had a great start against the Dodgers, right? He went 7 innings, 0 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks. Great. His best start of the entire season. It was great timing for it, too, because it was against the Dodgers. So I'll take that 10 out of 10 times. Hopefully he carries it over to today, where he's pitching at the struggling Phillies team. But before that start against the Dodgers, it's been awful. 15 runs in 18 innings, with 6 home runs and 12 walks. That is how bad he was. Prior to the Dodgers game, that's how bad it was. But somehow, that's not even the worst on the team. Adrian Houser gets that title. In 25 and 2/3 innings, he's given up 24 runs, 21 earned, for a 7.36 ERA. Right? That's almost a run an inning. Right? Every 5th day is an automatic loss at this point, right? And if you look at his Baseball Savant page, it's all blue, right? He's 2nd percentile in pitching run value, 1st percentile in breaking run value, right? 11th in fastball and off-speed run value, Left-handed hitters are hitting .412 with a 721 OPS and a 2.55 WHIP. Like, offensive teams, just throw lefties out there. And you'll score a bunch of runs off of him. You'll get him out in the inning, out of the game in the second inning, maybe third inning, right? Like, they're smoking the ball against him. Right, and this is the second year in a row where the Giants have a guy in their rotation who is an automatic loss. Right, last year, Verlander. Right, Verlander was horrible last year for the Giants. Granted, wasn't all his fault. There were some games where the defense and the bullpen let him down, but there were a lot of games where he was horrible. He was bad. It was an automatic loss. Now it's Houser. We got another guy, Adrian Houser. And the worst part about it all is this is only year 1 of 2. Right? We get to hit Adrian Houser for a whole nother year after this. So unless he figures it out, we're going to be seeing a lot more of him. And that scares the shit out of me. Right? Because it's an automatic loss. Like, what's the point? Right? Now, the bullpen has been lights out. And it's been very unexpected, right? Before the season, the consensus was that the bullpen was the weakest part of this lineup, right? That they were going to blow games. How are we going to close games out? Like, I was very hard on the bullpen just before the season because I looked at that, like, they don't have a closer. They don't have late inning guys. They don't have high leverage guys. They didn't really have any lefty pitchers, like, and the guys that they're counting on won't be back until like midway through the season. So it's like, what's the whole plan? Like, how are they going to close out games? Like, what are they going to do? But for somehow, credit to Jesse Chavez and everyone else dealing with the pitching staff and the bullpen, they've been lights out, right? They've been the best bullpen in the league since April 7th, posting a 1.51 ERA, a 1.06 WHIP, and a 2.24 BABIP. Right? That is all really low, best in league. They are the best bullpen right now. And that's great. That's basically what's making the Giants win games right now. But that's only lasts for so long. And where is the offense going to be? Right? They're currently 13-15, but with the bullpen largely carrying this team, if that bullpen was even half of what they were projected to be, this team would be in a whole different situation where they would probably be in last place or near the bottom or even worse than league, right? They probably wouldn't even have 10 wins. And the fielding has been interesting, right? The fielding has been kind of meh outside of Chapman and Arraez, right? Let's talk about it real quick, right? They're about average with a 1 fielding run value, right? So 0 is average, league average, above is, above average, below is below average, so on and so forth, right? So they have a 1 fielding run value. So they're barely above average, right? They are 4th at catcher, 28th at first base, 3rd at second base, which is completely surprising, 24th at shortstop, 4th at third base, 22nd in left field, 23rd in right field, and 24th in center field. There's a lot of numbers there in the mid to late 20s, right? The biggest surprise to me is Luis Arraez. Going into the season, he was the worst defender in baseball, right? I believe he had like a negative 33 outs above average at second base. And right now, he is posting a 5 fielding run value at second base. Right? He's far exceeded expectations. Like, Ron Washington has done a phenomenal job with Luis Arraez. But then you look at Rafi Devers and his defense, where he is a negative defensively, right? -7 outs above average, a -7 fielding run value, right? You look at what Ron Washington has done, and you're just, you look at what he's done with the Rise, and then you look at Devers, and you're like, why isn't it working there? Right? The fielding has been kind of meh. Hasn't been great. There's been some good catches, some good plays, but they really haven't been all that good defensively. It's better than last year. Last year they were one of the worst defenders, so it's there's an improvement there, but it's still not great. Still not great. We'll see. There's still a lot of time for this season for them to get better, and maybe some of the bad defense for Devers is because he's not hitting, but at the same time, your hitting shouldn't affect your defense, right? Because defense, you can control everything about it, right? How you get in front of the ball, how you field, how you throw, all that stuff. Hitting is far, far more difficult than fielding, just based off of movement, speed, all that other stuff, right? Arm angles, sequences, all that stuff. So it's a lot easier to field than it is to hit a baseball. But the defense has not been great. And I know I mentioned this earlier, base running. Base running. It's still a problem. They are once again last in stolen bases with 8. It's so bad. Like, this is the wild stat, right? It's so bad that the top 2 base stealers on this team are Luis Arraez and everybody's favorite Patrick Bailey. Right? Where half the fan base want Patrick Bailey DFA'd from this team, he is second on this team in stolen bases. Wild, right? You have Jung-Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, right? Drew Gilbert, Elliot Ramos. None of them have a stolen base. But Luis Arraez and Patrick Bailey lead this team. Wild. If your second best base stealer is Patrick frickin' Bailey, who runs like he's got a train hitched behind him, you've got a serious problem, right? Now, a lot of it has to do with the team not hitting, because you're not getting on base, so you don't want to get thrown out because you already have a little, very little opportunities to score those runs, so you don't want to make outs on the bases. But at the same time, if you're good at base running, you can manufacture runs because of it, right? So it's a double-edged sword. If you're good at base running, you can create runs. Even if your offense really isn't scoring runs, you can create those runs, right? We saw a game. I know Jared Oliva is on the injured list, but there was a game in spring training where he got on base or became a pinch runner, stole second, stole third, and got scored with a sac fly, all before an out was recorded. Like, by the time he got on base, not a single out was recorded while he was on base until the very end. Like, you can manufacture runs. The Giants don't do that, right? They're the worst base running team in baseball, and it hasn't changed. I know they emphasize it they say they emphasize it every single year, but they don't. They don't emphasize it, and it shows. It shows every year. They're always last in stolen bases, and it's not even close. Like, they're not even close to being anywhere near anyone else, right? All in all, this team's record is much better than it should be, right? They are making a ton of mistakes defensively. The offense has been spotty. 1 or 2 guys show up at a time, sometimes 3, right? But the bullpen, Robbie Ray, Landon Roop, have carried this team. So I'm worried about this team because I'm not taking this recent success than anything more than it is. Because if you really look at the numbers, it could be a lot worse, right? Fortunately, it's only the end of April, and there's still a lot of time for this team to turn things around and improve and get going and become a really good team. But it needs to happen very, very soon. Very, very soon. Right? I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop for the bullpen, right? As hot as they are and as great as they are, I'm waiting for that other shoe to drop. And when it does, or if and or when it does, where will this team be offensively to get through that rough patch? Are they going to be the same offense as we have now? Because if so, they're going to lose a ton of games, and it's going to be a very disappointing season and another waste of people's primes, and it will look back, and we'll look back at, the offseason additions that they got and be like, point to them again and be like, we knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen because you signed these guys who were injury prone or guys that are coming off of major injuries or haven't shown any sort of success, and you go through the whole list of, qualms that every fan had and be like, we told you this was going to happen. So hopefully that doesn't come to fruition. Hopefully the Giants can get it going. It's only April. Still a ton of baseball left. But they need to get it going soon. Right? They've been fortunate that the Phillies and the Mets, right, they've been struggling mightily worse than the Giants right now. Right? They're lucky that they're back there, but if you look at a lot of these other teams, right, yeah, the Giants are close to them. They've been able to stay close, but eventually the other shoe will drop for that bullpen, and where will this offense be? Because if they're the same as they are now, when that happens, watch out. It's going to be rough. With that, I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you like this type of content and want to see more, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and share this with everybody that you know. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Are you worried? What do you think this team needs to do to get better? And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and X at orange_black_pod. And I'll see you in the next one. Go Giants. Peace. Sorry for not posting any videos in quite some time. It's been over a month. I think maybe close to 2 months now. I've been dealing with some personal stuff I've had to attend to and take care of. So I didn't really have time to do any of this. But I should be back now and posting some regular content. My goal is to record a video after each series, or even just at the end of the week. Just kind of see where the Giants are, as things tend to fluctuate pretty regularly, and this team has been very streaky. But I should be back now recording stuff and making regular content. So stay tuned for some more stuff.